y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Quee. If you're new, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hey y'all, for today's mukbang, we are doing salmon burgers and sweet potato fries. I got some cucumbers and ranch back here. Today we are drinking water. Toast to y'all. We do have a story time for today, so if you do like crime shows, story times, anything of that nature, please stick around for the story time. We're going to go ahead and say grace and get started. Amen. How y'all doing? Let me know how y'all doing. So y'all, we got some salmon burgers. And I just got lettuce, tomatoes, and mayo up here, and cheese. I got some kind of organic mild cheese. And then I just cooked up some sweet potato fries. Cucumbers and ranch. How y'all doing? Let me know down below. Yeah, good. Happy Monday, y'all. Good. So y'all, the story comes from my man. There was this lady named Yvonne. Yvonne was the oldest out of 5 kids from her mom. So she was like the next person in line. Her mom didn't take care of the kids. She would always be one that had to take care of the kid. She would have to babysit while her mom would work. So she was a big help to the family. Their father was never around. He was an absent father. So her mom took care of them by herself. She started suffering a lot of losses. She lost her brother when she was young. At 27, he was caught up in some type of drug deal gone bad. And he ended up getting shot in the head. So that did kind of take a toll on her. Her mom didn't. Her mom didn't take it well either. So she was the next person in line to identify his body when he got shot. So she was the person who identified his body. And they showed her pictures and everything of, you know, some of the people that they were interested in. But she didn't know any of the people. You know how they take you in there for a lineup. But she didn't know any of the people that her brother dealt with. So his case ended up going cold over the next years. So over the next years, she ended up finding a boyfriend. They was together for like 8 years. They ended up having 7 kids together. And then tragedy strikes again. He ended up going to work one day. He just fell out and had a heart attack. So she ended up losing him and she became a single mom to 7 kids. So after that, she said she was lost because she was losing everybody. Every man that came in her life, she was losing him. She didn't have her father. So she said she was trying to, you know, deal with being a single mom the best way she could, but she was still kind of depressed. So one day, her friend asked her to ride with her to the jailhouse to see one of her friends. So while she ended up visiting him, this guy walks in. Nice looking guy. He caught Yvonne's eye, and she caught his eye too because he was looking at her too. He speaks to the friend, so the friend knows him, and he introduced her to Yvonne. His name is Charles. His real name is Charles, so he introduced her to him as Charles. So they start chopping it up. Yvonne already got in her head like, okay, this is my guy. She said his nails was clean. He was dressed nice. He had on a suit. He had on chains. She said, this is my guy right here. From the first time she saw him, she said, this is my guy. So he ended up taking her home. She ended up leaving her friend there, and Charles said he'll drop her off at home. After that, it became a thing. He helped her take care of the kids. He was sweet, nice. Everything was good. Over the years, she did hear a couple things about him. She learned that his nickname was Preacher or something. Preacher or something like that. And she also used to hear like little rumors about him saying, you know, he had a bad attitude or he wasn't really a nice guy. He had a quick temper, but she said she never saw that side of him. until one day she had invited her cousin over to the house, which was a guy cousin, and he was from a different state, and she said she hadn't seen him for a long time. So she said they out kicking it on the porch, sitting down, preach, whatever his name is, Charles. He's not there, so she said she see him pull up. As soon as she see him pull up, she said, he get out the car, pull out a gun, point it at her cousin, you know, asking him, who is he, what you doing here, all this and the third. So she said she jumped in front of him saying, you know, what you doing, this is my cousin. He's like, I never seen you have a cousin of a guy, you know, I never met him. Who is he? So the guy ended up leaving, the cousin ended up leaving because he's like, I don't got time for this, I'm gone. So Yvonne is a little upset with him, but she's looking at it like, okay, he's trying to protect me because he didn't know who the guy was, so she just took it and left it at that. So she said that was the first time of her seeing him, you know, enraged or doing something like that. She said it did scare her, but like I said, she only saw it as him trying to protect her. So come to find out, Charles is in this big group. He's like the big time drug dealer in the city. In this big group, they call him Preacher. And the name of their group was called the Preacher's Crew or something like that. So everybody was scared of him in the group. They abided by what he said. They did everything, and the police was investigating them like over a couple of years, but they could never get any information out of anybody because everybody was so scared to testify against him, or everybody was so scared to, you know, turn him in if he did something to them. He also had a reputation of, you know, if you don't pay up the money from the drugs or whatever, he'll kill you or your family or whatever. It was some incident about a young boy. He killed like a young boy. The parents were supposed to pay him some type of money, which they never did. So he kidnapped their little toddler son and killed him. But the police had no evidence. They always came up to a dead end because everybody was so scared to talk against him. So this lady named Cynthia, she was in the drug business with him. She ended up getting shot. And the police already know that she's in the drug business with him, but she ended up only getting shot in the arm and the leg, so she ended up surviving. So they was thinking, okay, we can get her to talk. She'll turn him in because we know that it's something dealing with him. So she recovers. She's scared to talk. She says she don't know nothing. She don't know who shot her. And that was the last they heard of her. So somebody else ended up getting shot that's in his crew that the police knows about. And he ended up surviving too. He owed them some money or something. So he ended up talking a little bit. He didn't tell much, but he ended up saying that he knew it was Preacher behind it. But of course, they still didn't have any evidence. So one day the police get this tip about 2 decomposed bodies at this abandoned building. The tip was anonymous because they didn't want to put it out because they knew how dangerous he was. So the tip told them that they saw Preach, aka Charles, kill these people and leave their body in his abandoned house. So they end up arresting him. That was enough probable cause for them to arrest him. A witness saying that they spotted him there. So as soon as they arrest him, he started telling on everybody. To save himself from the death penalty, he told on a lot of people that was running behind him. And he also said that Yvonne was the mastermind of his drug business. He told them that she was the one who came up with everything and he was following her rules. So one day she just sitting at home. She didn't even know he was locked up. She just sitting at home. She see a police cop, you know, knocking on her door. So she goes to the door, you know, asking them what's going on. Why you here? What's going on? And they told her there was they had a warrant out for her arrest. So she confused. She don't know what's going on. So she go down to the station. They get her in the interrogation room and they tell her that, okay, we got your boyfriend down here, Charles, preacher. He telling us that you involved in his drug business. You know, you the mastermind of everything. Like, you know what's going on. You do everything for him. You kill people for him. Everything. So she was like, if you believe him, then you're crazy because I don't got nothing to do with it. But she did confess and say she was the one who shot the lady Cynthia because she said she did hear a lot of rumors about him over the years saying that he used to cheat. He was unfaithful to her. And I told y'all Cynthia was in the business too, which Yvonne was never in the drug business with him. She always knew he had something going on, but she said she stayed out of that part. But she got kind of jealous when she saw Cynthia always with him. She said one day he pulled up to the house. Cynthia was on the passenger side. She was sitting on the porch, and she said, Preach got out to go handle a drug deal or something like across the street. So she said she got real mad and raged. She went in the house, got her gun, went to the car and just started shooting at Cynthia. She ended up hitting her. I told y'all she ended up hitting her like in the leg and the arm. And she said Cynthia just got up and ran away or whatever. And but the police never knew it was her because Cynthia never talked. She was scared to talk. So she did confess to that. She said she was the one who shot Cynthia because she was mad. And she also found out, y'all, I forgot this part. She also found out that he had a whole new girlfriend that stayed like in another city. He had 3 kids by her because she ended up hearing about it in the streets or whatever. And she went to the house trying to put the piece together. The girl like, yeah, these are his kids or whatever. When she confronted him about it, he told her, look, I can't get rid of you and I can't get rid of her, so y'all gonna have to work it out. That's what he told her. So she was like, she just stayed because she was feeling for that male attention. So she said she stayed. She told the girl, okay, you in another city, I'm in this city. You with him when you with him when he in that city, and I'm with him when I'm in my city. So don't come over here trying to come to my city. It was so funny, y'all. I'm like, really? So anyway, she in the interrogation room. She confessed to that, so she is gonna get charged with that. But she tell them she don't got nothing to do with the drug business or whatever. But he tried to take her down because she didn't even have nothing to do with the drug business. She was never into the drugs. She only did that because she was jealous because she thought Cynthia was messing around with him. So they did give her a plea deal. She could have took a plea deal if she would confess to being a accessory to whatever. So she ended up getting half of what she was gonna get. She was gonna get 20 years minimum, but She testified against him, and she took the plea deal. So she ended up getting 10 years, which was half of 20. Preach ended up getting life in prison. He avoided the death penalty because he turned on all his friends, saying that they was the ones who committed these crimes or whatever. So he ended up getting life instead of the death penalty. So she was in jail. She started struggling when she was in jail. She would fight all the time. She would always be in the house. So she was like, after like a year or two of doing that, she said she wanted to change. She didn't want to, if she was going to see her kids again, she would have to change. So she said she came up with this group in jail. She got a lot of girls together and they started studying. And she started, you know, just being like a mentor for the girls. And she built this group in jail and everybody saw that, like the guards saw it. And she ended up getting off. She ended up only doing 4 years in jail because of it, for her good behavior. When she got out, her kids were grown. So she started back rekindling her relationship with them. Boy. Let me know what y'all eating today. This was pretty good. Not too heavy. Hope y'all had a good New Year. Hope you brought it in positive with your family and friends, or even if you was by yourself, hope you brought it in with a positive mindset. So anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed the story time. Don't forget to subscribe to my vlog channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all.